Hey everybody, welcome back. Pause up. Today we're going to be making pumpkin peanut butter treats. Let's get started. Okay, for this recipe, we're going to be using pumpkin, of course, because it's pumpkin peanut butter. Make sure that it's pure pumpkin, not pumpkin pie filling. That has other ingredients in it that your dog doesn't need, and that could possibly cause some belly issues, okay? So just a pure pumpkin. Then it will have peanut butter, flour. You can use regular flour or whole wheat flour on this one, or like you've seen us use garbanzo bean flour in the past, or barley or something like that. That's totally fine as well. You could use that. Today we'll just be using regular all-purpose flour. A little bit of salt, just because we're using eggs in this recipe, and it helps the binding agent. It makes them rise nicely. Cinnamon as well. And then in terms of tools, you just need your prepared baking sheets. Prepared baking sheets, you will need a 1 cup, a half cup, and then an 1/8 of a cup, which I don't have. I have a 1/4 cup, so we'll just be doing half of that. And then a half of a teaspoon. You're gonna need a couple more things, like a little whisk and a spatula and or a good stiff spoon. This will also be a fairly stiff batter. And then also, once we get to the baking part, you can use fun, cute little shapes, because this will be something that we roll out. And you can use some cute shapes. We've got some paws, some little doggy shapes, a bone, a hydrant. And then you can also do what I love to do, and use a pizza cutter or a pastry or a pasta cutter. And that just makes it so easy to whiz through and cut a whole big sheet of cookies at one time. So we'll use a little bit of all that to show you. So, okay, I'm going to incorporate the wet stuff first, and that is going to be our 2 eggs. There you go, there's those 2. Then we're gonna have our 1/2 cup of pumpkin. Okay, so there's your 1/2 cup of pumpkin. So that's an 1/8 cup of peanut butter. I have only a 1/4 cup measuring apparatus here, so I'm just going to do half of that. Just bring all that together. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of set that aside for one quick second here. And we're gonna incorporate our dry ingredients. This is your 1 cup measuring cup. So it's all together, you want 2.5 cups of your flour. You're gonna add your 1/2 teaspoon of your cinnamon, and then it'll just also be a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and that just kind of helps with the eggs. And I just use a whisk and kind of bring all that stuff together. Put all this in here, and if you do need to add a little bit of water or a little more dry, if you need to add a little bit more wet ingredients, if it ends up being a little too dry towards the end, I would suggest adding just a little bit of applesauce at a time, or if you don't have applesauce, that's totally fine, and you can totally add just a little bit more pumpkin, or you can add a little bit of water. Okay, so like I said, it will be thick, and that's totally fine. We're going for nice, thick, dense cookies. Woo! That's one way to do it. Let's just get all that dough out of there. It's one of the other reasons I try to do it by hand as opposed to these things, because sometimes the batter is hard to get out of there. Nice firm ball. Really comes together pretty well. We're gonna roll it out with some flour, a little bit more flour scattered on the board here, and get the rolling pin, and we'll get that rolled out. You're gonna do it to just about 1/4 of an inch. If you do have a bigger dog, you can certainly do it to up to 1/2 an inch in thickness, and that'll be just fine for the bigger ones. Okay, so again, I'm just gonna use that sifter. Turns out to do nice double duty for me. That's why I like the sifter in there. Make sure you're well floured. As you roll it out, it will want to stick to everything. Make sure you have your rolling pin floured. I forgot to mention that before. You're going to want one of them for sure. And just start bringing it to your 1/4 inch. It's not complete rocket science. You don't have to make sure that it's exactly a 1/4 inch. You don't have to break it out. So we'll just use some of the fun little cookie cutters that we've got going on here. Okay, so we're just gonna start laying some of these fun shapes out here. You can get as creative or do it as simply as you wish. Cute little fun shapes. There's a cute little hydrant. We'll do some bones. And I'll also show you what I like to do with the pizza cutters and or the dough cutters, like pasta dough or something like that. Basically what I'll do is, I kind of like this one, it just has that fun little rippled edge on there. And very easy. Go across first. Whoops. They want to kind of wander on you. Try to keep your sizes suitable for your babies. If you have little dogs, you're going to want littler strips, because watch what we're going to do. It doesn't just become a strip. You go back and you make it like little diamonds. So it'll end up being like these fun little diamond shapes. Oops. Spatula kind of helps scoop all those up, and when you do get them in there and you use it with the spatula, just kind of break them up a little, make sure that they're separated, not touching. It'll increase your cooking time, and you'll have uneven cooking of your treats if they're all just in there touching. And they could also puff up a little bit and become one big giant treat on you. So with the storing of these treats, after they're cooked, they will be kind of like the other ones, where they're not going to be a super hard dog biscuit, but it will be similar to a biscuit type consistency. If any of y'all ever find a spaniel looking cookie cutter, let me know. Email me, shoot me a comment. I keep finding all different kinds, but this is about as close to resembling a spaniel as I could find. Figured if you decorate it, you could make it have a cute long ear, and it's got the little stub tail, but if y'all see one, let me know. So these are gonna go into the oven at 350 degrees into a preheated oven. And then we will, I will first start checking them about 20 minutes. And depending on the thickness, they can go as long as 30 minutes. And just make sure that you're not burning your cookies. Okay, we'll get them in the oven. All right, well, we got them all out of the oven and they're cooled, and we got them all plated up here for you. We're gonna offer one to Beryl. And see, they're fairly soft. So it'll be like a biscuit, but a softer biscuit. And some of them just kind of puffed up in the middle, you can see. You could probably use a fork if you wanted to before you baked it. Maybe it would help stop that pillowing. We're just gonna give him one of these and just see if he likes it, okay? You shake. Oh, thank you. How about the other one? Oh, thank you. Good boy. Bum on the floor, thank you. Here, you take the one that's broken. Well, I guess it's got Beryl's sign of approval. Thanks for tuning in. Please be sure to like and subscribe our videos. And check out the links below for recipes and our blog and all that fun stuff. And we'll see you soon. Thanks for tuning in. Pause up. Bye, guys.